What's going on, guys? So earlier on today, I told you that I was going to talk about what you can do if you're missing a stimulus check. If you're missing the $1,200 stimulus check, the $600 stimulus check, or even the $1,400 stimulus check, what can you do? Well, I want to address that. Because lately, I've been getting loads of questions, loads of comments, and emails from you community members, and thank you for those, by the way. But you've been asking, what can I do if I have not received my stimulus check? Is there any options available to me? Yes, there are. So this includes the $1,200 check, $600 check, and the $1,400 stimulus check. So here's what we know. The IRS has issued more $1,400 stimulus checks. It may not be available yet. So here's what we know. The IRS has sent out about 30 million checks. There's about 30 million checks going out to people on Social Security beneficiaries. So because of that, if you do get Social Security and you haven't received your $1,400 check, don't worry just yet. There's still time. Also, if you get a paper check or you get a prepaid debit card, those were sent out last week as well, which means they should be showing up in your bank account most likely this coming week, if not the following week. So, gotta be patient. But what we do know is, what we are seeing is that if you don't get a check by the end of April, then that's the time to worry, and we will have to wait for more guidance on the $1,400 stimulus checks from the IRS. So, if you don't get a $1,400 stimulus check, what we do know is you will most likely have to wait until 2022 to file 2021 taxes and then get a rebate of the $1,400. Now, I'm not saying that that's definitely going to happen, because the last time that was the case, and with the $600 payments, President Biden did an executive order, or pretty much told the IRS, go and find the payments. Go and get the payments, get them to the American people. They need the money. And this kind of drive, this is what helped the economy get back to where it is currently. So I would most likely expect President Biden to step up and do something similar to what he did before. Now, here's what you need to understand about your $1,200 and $600 stimulus checks if you didn't get those. A lot of people have told me they still have not received their $1,200 check for their child, which it wasn't $1,200, it was actually $500. Or they haven't received their $600 stimulus check for their spouse. Well, things like that are very easy to fix. Here's what you need to know, okay? Let me address this first. Here's what you need to know. If you didn't get a payment, all you have to do is file your 2021 taxes or your 2020 taxes currently in 2021, and on line 30, there'll be a box that you can check that, and you can go and get whatever money you are still owed. And that will come eventually. All right? So that is something you can do. But here's the bigger question. This is something that a lot of people are struggling with is, I didn't get a stimulus check for the $1,200 or $600 because my so-and-so claimed me as a dependent. What can I do? Well, here's what you can do. The IRS has stated that if you were claimed as a dependent in 2020, but you technically weren't a dependent, you were dependent on yourself, you'll pay for things yourself, what you can do is just go and file taxes now in 2021 and file them for 2020 and say, no, I wasn't a dependent. And then you can actually claim the $1,200 and $600 payments. So this includes, let's say, college students that initially claimed themselves, or their parents claimed them as a dependent, and now you want to go and claim yourself. Well, here's what you need to understand. If you were a college student, you didn't get the $1,200 stimulus check. Okay, you didn't get $500 because you're an adult dependent in most cases, unless you're pretty smart and you're in college and you're 17 years old, which congratulations. But so you didn't get $1,200, didn't get $500, didn't get $600, you didn't get anything. So here's what we know. If you didn't, and you can claim yourself now, go and do it. But here's what I do recommend. Go and talk to somebody to make sure that this doesn't impact your college situation, doesn't impact maybe financial aid. Go and check this out. Maybe it's going to impact your insurance. We don't know. Okay, I don't know your specific situation, but just understand, if you go and claim yourself now in order to get that $1,800, that $1,200 plus $600, it could affect you in some ways. I'm not saying it's going to affect you negatively. It might be a good thing, but go and talk to somebody and explain your situation. Now, here's what we also know. If you didn't get all of your payments for every single one of your children, go and file your taxes and then check the box and get the additional rebate. Okay? It's going to ask you how much you received. If you still have the letters, perfect. If you don't, no big deal. Okay? Now, one thing I can say, and this is what a lot of people are asking is, well, I had a kid in 2020. Do they count? And here's the answer. Yes, your child counts as a child dependent if they were born anytime in 2020. It doesn't matter if they were born on January 1st or December 31st. They are still a child born in 2020. Because these stimulus checks weren't actually issued on the exact dates they were passed. These are actually stimulus checks, but these are tax credits that are supposed to go back to you at the end of the year. But the IRS and Congress decided, we're going to give you this tax credit, but instead of giving it to you at the end of the year, we're going to give it to you now as an advance. So yes, even if your child was born on January 1st or December 31st of 2020, they still qualify. They would still get the $500 from the first round and $600 from the second. So if you did have a child in 2020, first off, congratulations. And yes, you can get a stimulus check. So what I can tell you right now is that the IRS is still behind in processing 2019 taxes, and obviously they're behind in processing 2020 taxes as well. What this means, even though you could be entitled to a rebate, even though you could be getting a massive refund check back from the IRS, that is great. The problem is that right now they are so far behind that it could still take weeks before your tax return is processed, which is one of the reasons why I highly recommend you only e-file at this time. In times like this, it makes absolutely no sense to paper file if you don't have to. Okay? Because if you paper file, you could see your tax return sitting at the IRS for months. So e-file, get it done as quickly as possible, get it in their queue so that you can hopefully get your tax rebate check back as soon as possible. But what I can tell you is there's so many issues going on right now with the IRS. You have to be patient. They will issue the stimulus checks. Right now is a great time to get your stimulus check for the $1,200 and $600 payments. Just understand it will take a little bit of time. You have to be patient. The IRS is working towards this. Now, the last thing I just want to say is that for all those people that are still waiting on their $1,400 stimulus checks, you might have to continue to wait because really there's not a lot of guidance regarding these stimulus checks if you didn't receive it. It's not like you can go to the IRS, get my payment portal, and put in some information and be like, oh, well, okay, I didn't get my $1,400 stimulus check, so I'm going to go and click this button and they're going to send me the check. No, that's not the way it works. In the previous round with the $600 stimulus checks, there was a thing where if you didn't get, and this is what President Biden did, if you didn't get your $600 check, there was a little thing that you can go into and you can call the IRS and be like, and you didn't want to talk to anybody, but it's an all automated thing. Be like, okay, I didn't get my payment, click this button, this button, this button, this button, put in a little bit of my information, and boom. What they would do is it would send a little ping to the IRS and be like, all right, this person didn't get their $600 check, look into it. That was it. And the IRS would go look into it. And they issued millions of payments because of this, just by doing this little system, this little process, and through the system it worked. And it pinged the IRS and like, oh, well, Johnny so-and-so from Denver, Colorado didn't get his stimulus check for $600. We better look into that. They look into it, figure out, oh, okay, this is why, we sent it to the wrong address. Or, oh, it went to the H&R Block account instead of his actual bank account. We better get a hold of H&R Block and figure out what's going on. So that's kind of what we're hearing. But as always, as I know more, I promise I will come back and share more. I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday afternoon. Again, hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe if you want to stay updated on everything that's going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one.